name is Kayla Simango and I'm excited to share the first video of our podcast series. Today I sat down with Advocate Ruth Kruger and we spoke about our collaboration with Thulamela Chambers. We also spoke about the new name of the competition called the Cingashe Tabata Public Law Moot. We hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hello, my name is Kayla Simango and I'm an executive of the Wits Moot Court Society and I oversee the marketing and media portfolio. Today I'm pleased to be joined by Advocate Ruth Kruger, who will be telling us a little bit about Thulamela Chambers, the work they do with the Wits Moot Court Society and the new name of the Moot Court competition. Advocate Ruth, could you please tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming an advocate?
Sure. So I actually started out studying something which was very different to law. I started out studying environmental science and I did a master's overseas in sustainability science and I worked at the Centre for Environmental Rights for a bit, so I was quite firmly entrenched in that area. But I actually from early on knew that I wanted to combine environmental science with law to work on both in an interdisciplinary way. So after having done the Masters in Sustainability Science, I did an LLB. And after that, the LLB was at Wits, although my previous degrees were at Rhodes and overseas in Sweden. From there then, I had the chance to clerk at the Constitutional Court, which was a wonderful experience, which was for Justice Majid. And I then came straight to the bar. I did pupillage and started, well, first at the Thulamela group, and then I moved on to Thulamela Chambers.
Oh, awesome. What was the turning point that made you decide to go from environmental side of things to law and then merging that together?
There was no turning point exactly. I knew from the beginning that I wanted to do both, and that I wanted to do it in an interdisciplinary way. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough of a background in environmental science, sustainability science, before I got into law. I actually got advice from somebody that I know, a friend of my parents who's a lawyer, quite early on in the journey, and he suggested that it would be good to get a grounding in environmental science first, and then do the LLB at the very end, because I would be streamlined into the profession.
Oh, wow, that's great advice, and it's allowed you to merge two things that you're passionate about, which is really awesome. Could you please speak about Thulamela's collaboration with the Wits Moot Court Society? On our side, we're so beyond thankful for the years that you've worked with us. So I'd like to hear a little bit about that and how it came to be from your perspective working at Thulamela.
Well, firstly, we're very grateful for this as well. I think it's a wonderful collaboration, and it's a little bit like a how do I put this? I think we at Thulamela feel as though we are contributing to building the advocates of tomorrow by doing this, because Moot Society is very much a society that helps to build advocacy skills. So we're so grateful for the chance to do that and to meet our future opponents. But in terms of the how this all developed, it started long before I was at the bar. In I think it was 2017. Somebody who's still here at Thulamela Chambers, Byron Morris, he, together with I think some others, started the collaboration with Wits. And actually at that point, I think Sohail Mohammed might have been involved in the Moot Society. He might have been instrumental in creating the collaboration. In any event, it's been going on for quite a while, and various different people at Thulamela have been involved in running it, and for most of its existence, this competition has been a chance for Wits students to come and sharpen their mooting skills, but also for more junior members to get involved and to meet students and to just be involved in a very cool project. But since last year, we've been doing things slightly differently. Last year we were very fortunate in having a whole lot of judges, High Court judges and even a Constitutional Court judge, 2 Constitutional Court judges, volunteer to come assist with the moot. And so that has changed the character of the moot. It means that we need to be a lot more official, and we need to get nicer prizes,
Absolutely.
all of that sort of thing. So last year and this year we've had lots of judges, and we're so grateful for that. But this year we thought we might want to take it even a step further. Our group we were very sad about the fact that we lost one of our members 2 years ago. Her name was Cingashe Tabata, and she was a relatively junior member. I think she was sort of 5 or 7 years into her career, and she was a shining star, really. She was still quite junior, but working on some very interesting and important matters. Clearly one of the people who was going to be in the leadership of Thulamela going forward, the leadership of the bar. Unfortunately, she passed away. And so we thought that this moot competition, as we take more ownership of it as Thulamela, which is not to say that Wits doesn't have ownership of it as well, but we thought that this can be a real Thulamela project, and as part of that, we thought it would be lovely to use this as a platform to honour Cingashe, our former colleague, our friend. And we thought it would also be a cool opportunity to really give shape and character to the moot by giving it a theme, the public law theme, and theming it in honour of Cingashe.
What a wonderful way to honour Cingashe, and I'm sure the impact that she had on just society and the work that Cingashe was doing, as well as on the chamber, must have been so major and so impactful to make the decision to name the competition after Cingashe. It's such a wonderful thing that you have done, and it's also it's so exciting that the new mooters also get to get a glimpse into what Cingashe's work and the impact that Cingashe had on people and society. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. With that said, what impact do you hope that the competition will have on participating students and the legal community at large?
Well, I hope it'll have an impact on perhaps 3 or even 4 levels. I think that obviously being involved in moot is a wonderful experience for students. I was involved in moot as well, and I think it's an incredible experience. It helps you sharpen your skills. It makes you more confident, and through competitions like this, you can meet people in the legal community, form networks and connections that will be useful later. So that's the first level. The second level is that of junior practitioners like myself and others who've been involved in adjudicating the moot. I think for us it's a wonderful chance to give back, but also to form networks and connections with our future opponents and with more senior people, and even with judges who are now involved in adjudicating the moot. And the seniors and the judges who are involved are then also networking down. It's a wonderful sort of symbiotic situation that I think is happening, where we're building a network across the profession at different stages, and we're sure all of us, particularly us juniors, but all of us are sharpening our skills and building networks, which I think will be very, very valuable.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in a profession where it can be so difficult to get access to legal professionals and chat to them. I myself, on a personal level, am so thankful for competitions of this nature, which have allowed me to interact with advocates such as yourself and judges who I read about in my textbook. So it's been so wonderful to interact and learn so much from you guys. So yeah, I'm beyond thankful, and I know the Wits Moot Society is also thankful for the impact that you've had on our mooters and even us as executives on a personal level.
That is so lovely to hear, but we are grateful as well. It's a wonderful opportunity, such a lovely platform. Yeah, as we were saying, to give back, to stay involved, to train each other, to build networks, to network with judges, to network with our future opponents. There's no downside.
Before this interview comes to an end, I would like to know from your side, why is it that you decided that this competition is going to focus on public law?
Well, the short answer to that is that Thulamela is the public law group. It's what we do. We focus very much on matters that involve the state and involve the powers of the state. We act both for the state and against the state, and so we function as a bit of a public law think tank at the bar. And so it made sense for us to theme the moot in that way, both because of what Thulamela is in general, and because of the focus of Cingashe's practice. She did a lot of public law. She didn't only do public law, but it was definitely her focus. And she was, I think, tipped to be one of the next leaders in the public law space. So it's also in honor of her. And in line with that, we think public law is a really important aspect of the law, and it's an aspect that perhaps one isn't exposed to all that much at university. I mean, perhaps in some ways one is, but I think through this opportunity we hope that students will have the chance to deepen their knowledge and understanding of public law, become exposed to it, perhaps join us as public lawyers. That's what we're hoping anyway.
Definitely. Oh, that's awesome to hear it from your side and the reasoning behind it. I think it's also so important considering the context of the country that we live in, South Africa, especially as law students. As you said, it's not something you're often exposed to in class, but it is something that we live and experience. So bridging the law into that and having our students get the opportunity to critically engage in that is really important. And yeah, I think it's so great that Thulamela has decided to incorporate that. Before we end this podcast, I would love to ask you one last question. What's the best piece of advice you received that helped you in your legal career?
I don't know whether it's advice I received, but the advice I'd give is the advice I'd give to all students is to find your passion, whatever it is. And it might be legally related, it might not. And my passion is the environment, and I found a way to link it to my work in the law. I just think it's so important to know why you're doing this work, because it's hard work. And so you need to make sure that it feels meaningful to you. I think you need to do that one needs to do that both intrinsically and instrumentally, because intrinsically speaking, it will be more meaningful to you if it's something you're passionate about, and you'll feel as though you're contributing to something that you really care about. But instrumentally, you'll be better at it if you care about it. And also, and this is another instrumental point, I think, there are so many law graduates. You really need to set yourself apart, and one way to do that is to find your passion. So that's my advice.
Thank you so much for the advice. I'll also take that advice. I think I've also started seeing more and more of that for myself, and yeah, it's so important to be passionate and love what you're doing. I know sometimes we as law students can get tired of reading cases and all the content that's there, but if you're doing something that you love and you're incorporating aspects of things that you love, it really helps to make it something that doesn't get tiring, because at the end of the day you spend most of your time at work, so it is important to love what you do.
Absolutely, and I mean, you're never going to enjoy every part of your work. It is going to be tiring sometimes, and boring sometimes, and stressful sometimes. But that's, I think, why it's so important to have a passion and work towards that. Because if you know you're working towards something that you think is so important, then you'll push through, even if it's tiring or stressful or boring or whatever the case may be.
Thank you so much for sharing that advice. I know our mooters will definitely take that one, and not with a grain of salt. I think a lot of us need to hear that and be reminded of that. So thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview with us and talk to us about Thulamela's collaboration with the Moot Society, and also the significance of honoring Cingashe. So yeah, thank you so much for everything. We are beyond grateful for everything that Thulamela has done for us and the opportunities that you have provided for us and also members of our society.
Thanks to you as well.
Thank you. We hope that you enjoyed this interview. Please like and subscribe and engage. If you have any questions or any more things you'd like to see from us, please fill that in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Thank you for watching this interview. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below.